people, when they start using, this, they judge the ancient civilizations using 21st century glasses. That's something which, again, as I started, you have to have an open mind. You cannot judge things based on your present perspective. You have to look at the bigger picture. And just because they did not have cars or fossil fuels does not mean they did not have technology.
Yeah.
There's mention of Vimans, like you said, Vimans, and not just one. Pushpak Vimana is the one that everybody knows. There are other multiple Vimans that are mentioned. In fact, Pushpak Viman was not with Ravan. It was with his stepbrother Kubera. And Kubera was a ruler of Lanka. A lot of people again don't know this story. So Ravan actually usurped the throne. He threw Kubera out of Lanka. He took his Pushpak Viman and he basically took over everything that Kubera had built. And Kubera was saved using 2 other flying machines. And this is from the Uttarkand of the Valmiki Ramayana. There were 2 other machines, 2 other spaceships or airplanes, whatever you want to call them, that were used to take Kubera away from there. His minions, yakshas, they basically helped him escape from there to the Himalayas. There is such flying machines mentioned in the Mahabharata. So there's this king called Shalva who attacks Dwarka in a flying machine. And again, so a lot of people have this question, how could they create something like this? And the answer that I have is that they did not create it. They were given the knowledge to create this by an advanced civilization, again, possibly aliens, who were the Devas. So these people, the advanced civilization of Devas, they provided the knowledge to create this. Because whenever you find mention of Vimans, it's never a human that's creating it. The Pushpak Viman was created by Vishwakarma, who's the architect of the gods. The plane that the Shalva uses in Mahabharata was created by Maya Danav, who is the architect of the Asuras. So these are 2 other advanced civilizations who provided these machines to us for use. It's like an advanced country, a Western country providing arms and weapons and artillery to a third world country.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. And this talk about Vimans got me thinking that, okay, can you actually build a plane without fossil fuels? And then you think of birds. Right? Like, how do birds fly?
Yeah.
They basically have a certain kind of bone structure.
Right.
And a certain kind of material that makes them up, which are the feathers, which probably hold air.
Which is aerodynamically,
And just because the planes that we use in the modern day use fossil fuel, it probably means that, there were definitely scientific advancements with respect to those planes.
Right.
But maybe no one just took a step back and thought, let's engineer them this other way.
Yes.
And you said different kinds of Vimans. That's basically what it is. Some would have been flown using fossil fuels. Some would have been flown using some other kind of engineering.
Right.
There's no limit to what engineering can achieve. And that's one thing I've learned as an engineer. That we are who thought 50 years back that, we'd be able to do so much with our phones.
Completely.
So what stops you from thinking that maybe someone will engineer planes at some point in the future, which are completely independent of fossil fuels?
In fact, these Vimans were supposed to have a mercury vortex. So they were supposed to run on mercury. So imagine, mercury is it's not a very easily available metal. And it also has a very semi-fluid texture, right? So how did they use it? That's the challenge to uncover. And somebody can try it because there are people who have tested the models that are given. So there's something called the Vaimanika Shastra, which mentions the different type of planes, the different shapes. And some people, especially in the Western countries, they have tried building those shapes, small ones, and testing whether they are even aerodynamically stable, whether they can even sustain the wind currents and can fly in the air, and it's possible. But they haven't found the technology to, decipher the mercury vortex. But the shapes are aerodynamically possible. So there is knowledge which is available, but we need to